Whoa, look at you. Right out of the gate with the strong imagery, you're like half a person holding yourself up on two arms. Well, one arm in the handle of that bladed tool like a sickle or something. Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to 3 short horror games. And tonight we're starting off with Teke, Moonlight Dread. Although, in this particular instance, I think the streetlight is doing more work than the moon. Apparently it's based on a Japanese urban legend, and I'm really curious to find out what it's about. Done. What's this? Huh. Mysterious brutal incident. Man found cut in half with no clues. August 29th, 2025. Oh my god, that's today! Only it's 8:30 p.m. instead of 4:43 a.m. Asahikawa, Japan. A man was found with his body cut in half near the station area of Asakawa City, in a shocking incident that has baffled the police. The crime scene was discovered by a passerby who heard a strange noise last Friday night. The victim looked like he was chopped by an axe, and blood was everywhere. The police sealed off the scene and investigated. They have not found any clues or witnesses that could explain what happened. Some people have suggested that this incident may be linked to the urban legend of Teke, a ghost of a woman who was cut in half by a train and now haunts the station areas. She moves by dragging her upper body with her hands, making a teke sound, and cuts anyone who sees her in half with a scythe or a sickle. Oh, I love a good ghost story. However, the police have not confirmed this rumor, and they'd look kind of stupid if they did, and are still searching for the truth. They have asked the public to stay calm and alert, and to report any suspicious activity or information to them. Related articles. Is the urban legend Teke rumor related to the incident? What is the truth? Residents of Asakawa City are terrified. Debate rages on about the relationship between the incident and Teke. This is unbelievable. How could this happen? I don't know, but that donut looks pretty good. Are we gonna finish the donut, though? Yeah, no, I already read this. Reminder, get groceries. Oh no. I almost forgot to pick up some groceries. Who needs groceries? Have donut. You know, I think part of the reason why I picked this was because I've been starved of Chilla's art for a while. They used to be putting out like a game every couple of months. Haven't really played from them since the beginning of this year. But this is sort of reminding me, in some ways, of Crypta FM. I mean, we're starting off in our room, perfectly safe and sound, but hearing about the goings-on on the streets at night. And now about to willingly make the choice to go check it out. Well, not willingly, we're putting ourselves out there. Oh, wait. I have to bring the shopping list. Okay, where are you keeping your shopping list? Where are you keeping your shopping list? Maybe in one of these drawers? There we go, yeah, I too just keep shopping lists in a drawer along with nothing else. Okay, we need 2 milk, 1 olive oil, 1 white rice, 2 instant ramen, cereal, tea bags, 3 snacks, and dish soap. Okay. Put that away with tab. And that's all there is to it. You know, the Teke was cut in half on a night like this. I assume. See, this is so cool to me because this is relatable horror. The kind of thing that tells us a ghost story and then puts us in this mundane situation to think about it. And the best part is, with a story like this, we can think about it ourselves the next time we're on a late night walk. I mean, that's what I think the best ghost stories are, the kinds of things that are applicable. They're not necessarily meant to be scary in the moment you're hearing about them. Even something silly can completely get you sweating the moment you're all alone. We can sprint, but our sprint is limited. It takes a little while to recharge. I guess it's kicking off tonight. Look, this place may be lit up like a beacon in the night, but the shopping center across the street is left eerily dark. We can only see some gentle reflections off of it in the fog, and the flickering streetlight in front of it. Kinda easy to feel watched from over here. You really sound like that? Okay, we're looking for some things. Olive oil? Strange way to walk in. Snacks, snacks, snacks. Hey there. You're just kind of following me around the store. Why are you following me? At night, old women's tales come true. Run, young man. Okay. So we received this part of the ghost story, the old woman warning us. This really does feel like Chilla's art meets Spears to Fathom. Instant ramen, could use some of that. What else? We'd probably find milk in the freezers, right? But I'm not seeing anything. Have I not been all up and down these aisles? What am I missing here? Actually, if we look at our list, white rice, tea bags, dish soap, and milk. Well, some of this stuff we can probably get up front. Good evening. Good evening, young one. Have you heard about the Teke incident? Oh, no, I haven't. You mean that urban legend? Yes, exactly. You're young, so maybe you're not aware. It seems that legend has turned into reality lately. It's absolutely terrifying. Wait, really? What happened? Tonight, right here in this town. If she appears, you won't escape her grasp. Be careful, young one. Be very careful. Yeah, I'll be careful. I wonder what happens if we watch where you go. Well, you might be a ghost. The way you just walk through those doors. Hey, you're kinda walking off into the dark there. But unfortunately can't track you down. Now, the itch.io page says that this game has 2 endings. But there's our tea bags, our white rice. Now we just need dish soap and milk. Are you absolutely certain the milk isn't over here? Maybe the last of this we can get from the front desk? Anything here? No. Where have you gone? Where'd she go? The cashier's missing. Car's still here. Maybe I should follow you around back. I still need to get groceries. Okay, but where'd she go? I left the store for 1 second and she disappeared on me. Oh, this is milk, apparently. Alright, we need to be close before the thing will appear, and even then it's kind of hard to see against some of these. Alright, where are we keeping dish soap these days, since apparently everything's in topsy-turvy land? Down there. Okay, that should be all. But there's no one here to ring me up. Hello? I need to find the cashier to settle my bill. Yes, I do. Well, oh, I can come out and around now. We really couldn't just go through the counter? Hello? Are you here? The store's locked. Hi, I'm being really weird by trespassing in order to get this bill instead of just waiting. Oh, what are you doing here? I'm sorry. I came here to settle my bill. I see. Wait here for a moment. I'll be back soon. Please return to the store and wait there. Alright, I'm going back. You hear that? Okay, I guess I'll go deal with it, since I apparently have to deal with everything else. Oh, that doesn't look good. Not good at all. Well, I guess instead of calling the police or trying to help or anything, I'll go settle my bill. Wait for the cashier to get back. It's just the pace of things around here. It's a culture shock. Good evening. I'd like to pay for these. Good evening. Your total would be 2750 yen, please. Excuse me, what's wrong with that old lady? Oh, that old lady is a bit unusual, I think. At night, she often tells strange stories. Strange stories at night? Here's your change. Thank you. Alright, well, you stay safe. Hey, there's a massive bloody car wreck outside. Sounds like the train's passing by again. And I hear something from the back. Is that going to be a train ticket? Oh my. It always heralds her arrival. We're still stuck. That Teke moving around in the dark. Oh, no. Open up. It's directional. There might actually be something there. I swear I just saw movement. Oh my god! Ah. Reminder, hold shift to run. Yes, I get the idea. You were bisected instantly. Oh my god. You know, for somebody with no legs, you move pretty fast. Cross over here. Trying not to be bisected by traffic while we're at it. Get our sprint back while we can. Keep on running. I can hear you skittering behind me. Here's our home. Here's our home! Ending 1 of 2, dismembered. It doesn't really feel like there was much I could do about that. Oh my god, that was terrifying. I mean, right up until it kind of just insta-killed me at the end. But, dude, all it did was the simplest thing, which was tell us a ghost story, and then take events as they came with that in mind. Just leaving us in the dark with something moving around all over after it had built itself up so much, that was all it needed. It's as simple as it could possibly be, and yet it's actually really, really effective at it. Okay, so we gotta go through the credits and restart it, but I would really like to try again. Oh, and we can continue. Alright, that's really, really cool. That's what was making the sound. You're tapping your scythe on the glass. You don't seem to be coming based on a timer. You'll come out and you'll get us instantly no matter what. So there must be something else we have to do. Maybe we could try running in the other direction? Alright, this time we're gonna go out and to the right. Maybe we should be trying to go anywhere but home. And so we just run the streets. Wow, it's surprisingly open out here. Nope, there's an invisible wall right here. Well, I don't see what else to do then. Unless maybe we can get onto the roof or into the back? Because going home is a total no-go. You're still out there. Car key. Okay, that provides slightly more protection than running around unshielded, but not much. I mean, look what happened to this. Also, nobody ever called help for them. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, maybe we can hit her and take off her other arms. Whoa! I was kidding! Ending 2 out of 2, survived. Well, we did it. And the ending changes to your roadkill under that same streetlight. You just got flat stand-lead, creature of lore. So that was Teke, Midnight Dread. And that was really good. Like, it's like I said, it told a very simple ghost story. It introduced me to a new urban legend. And it was able to take something that, if you were to hear it by daylight, would seem kind of silly. But with all this in mind, when you're walking at night and hear a train horn in the distance, well, you'll probably think of this and be set on edge regardless. That's the fun of things like this. They carry over into the rest of your life, whether you want them to or not. Well, it was a great start, but on to another. There's something so eerie about watching those shadows creep over the craters, isn't there? Even the sunlight of the morning is no real comfort. Hello everyone, and welcome to We Went Back. a space horror game free on Steam that you guys have been asking me to play for a while, in which we wake up on an abandoned space station and try to figure out what went wrong. I've been into space horror ever since I started playing Kerbal Space Program like 13 years ago, and I'd just be looking at the desolate landscapes around me and thinking, wow, the isolation is incredible. Space can be home to literally anything or nothing, and it's up to you to decide which of those things is scarier. But what we'll be dealing with here remains to be seen. Instructions. Zooming. Hold the right mouse button to zoom on objects or areas you wish to see better. Press E to interact when it appears on screen, and we can inspect objects like in Amnesia. Look at this, it's really just bringing us through the whole menu. Okie dokie. Well, we get some audio options. Maybe we should increase the brightness level a bit. Let's make it a little more visible than I like. That's what I usually do for recording.
Warning. Cryosleep interrupted. Life form detected.
I really hope it's me. Are there any others? It doesn't look like there's anyone in there. And the one beside me is cracked open. Wow, it really is dropping us in with no context whatsoever. Now I wonder, are we on a space station or are we actually on the surface of the moon? Also, let me just check really quick to see if there's any audio settings. It doesn't look like there's subtitles. Okay, that's alright. Aside from the ship system, there may not be anyone to subtitle.
Warning. Exit door has been deactivated. Input override command at exit terminal to activate.
Sounds like someone may have tried to lock us in. By opening it, we could be doing the wrong thing. We might have been written off for dead. That password guess was not correct. I was so sure, too. It's the lunar surface. Look. Absolutely nothing out there but regolith dust catching the light in the air. Oh no, it's not even that. It's, just atmosphere in here. What is this? Polaroid camera, Moon 888. Say cheese collected the camera. A low-tech but elegant solution. Okay, well, we've still got some EVA suits ready. I wonder, is this the future or the past? Well, a retro future, possibly. Oh, we've got everything. We've got treadmills for maintaining muscle mass. All pretty necessary in 1/6 of Earth's gravity. I wonder, are there things we can pick up and look at in the environment? Like that box looks kind of usable, but we can't crouch. TNet, Computing Innovations. Yep, this all definitely looks like a 70s or 80s look. We've got our hydroponic farms going. Hey, it looks like somebody else made it. Look at that, the corners of the glass actually distort our view of you. Your eyes aren't looking too healthy. Butterflies, possibly specimens for testing. Or just somebody's corkboard art. So this whole thing exists in a ring. Is it possible that it utilizes some kind of artificial gravity? The longer we go without it being clear what's going on here, the creepier it becomes. Because I'm not seeing any bloodstains or bodies or signs of a struggle. It's like everyone's just gone. Somebody clearly was outside. Clearly we landed. You know, people set up floodlights out there. I really admire this game's restraint, leaving us truly in the dark, but what goes around comes around. I need to figure out the password to this thing, which is probably going to be written on a document somewhere then. I'll change... up there. The visors are rounded, so I didn't even quite register at first. It's quite clear now. There's a glow stick here and a vent. Oh my god! Okay, no, that was... Okay, you gave me a period of silence and then a subtle scare, and then skinned man in the vents. Going Hollow Man, 2001, 2, whatever. Why am I talking about this? Are you telling me I need to go in there? Well, there's simply no way to move past the suits, so... Okay. Are you implying that these suits are the skins we wear? No, let me in. It's a hidden chamber. There's no reason for this to be here. This vent is the only access. Okay, I think we're cracking up. That's my guess. We are cracking up. Bruno. Alright, so we probably have to align photos with phases, right? And a record player. Potentially we can find something to use with it. I think that's a cassette tape stuck to the wall. Alright, so we are on the lookout for photos then. Well, our friend the suit is gone. Graphically and in terms of style, this reminds me a little bit of The Voidness, but as far as the horror and tone, it's very, very different. And you know what I say about rounded corners, they're so much worse than angles. And it's because they maintain your anticipation throughout. There's no point where you're pretty sure you know what's around it. You can always zoom in. Any change with Mr. Rat? No, Mr. Rat is still just fine with his olive eyes. I'm on the lookout for circles now, although oddly, one section has been erased. Yep! Was that a skeleton? Is Darwin here pranking me? Let's go. Oh, this is... It's literally a loop. I've realized this is not where this came out before. Yep. Yep, I've seen this before. We're doing a Silent Hill PT in space. And just like Silent Hill PT, I imagine you could extrapolate this to a full game, couldn't you? I'm not quite sure there was always a glow stick on the table. So that's part of the sequence then. You know, I'm really glad / not glad that that skeleton creature ambushed us because it's very noticeable now, the open vents above us. Not just the openings either. It's all a grate. So that's not good. I don't think there's anything we can do but keep moving, though. This tape will not change. Nor will my habits, apparently. Okay, there we go. Hey, you seeing those flashing lights at the end of the hall? Are you hearing those crunching noises? That's my pod. I thought that was what you'd say. I thought you'd say that. Oh, we still don't have the password. That's our ultimate goal. Well, now that we have this, we can return another one to the sequence. Let's see if it adds it now. We can place it up there, but we don't really know where it goes, i.e., there's no label on this one that I can see. Alright, there's no point in trying to solve this until we have them all, I think. And it does that locked-in animation of moving into the vent, but it does it fixed no matter where you're looking, so it keeps sending me into the corner. So keep an eye out for those glow sticks and keep an eye out for potential jump scares. Problem, when you're in a rounded hallway, everything's a potential jump scare, of course. There's always other things to find. Look at that. Okay, so in the absence of much else, we can start speculating. Here's a theory. We were an astronaut betrayed by our beloved pet research mouse. Maybe some accident caused the entire crew but us to be killed. We went into cryosleep, hoping that we would maybe be rescued. But the guilt eats away at us in our frozen dreams. That's just a random guess. And it seems like the butterflies have been exposed to trioxin. I always love a game like this with spooks that don't care if you notice them or not. Just a lot of them so that you will notice some of them. Seems like our pod is mostly back to normal. And what we learned is that not everything is going to be marked by a glow stick. Nothing's changed out there. Yet. It's a good thing I'm not going that way. Placed there. We've got to figure out where we're actually starting from also. Come on. So if you're a manifestation of our guilt, why do you take this form? That's gonna be my next question. Maybe we held on to someone as they were sucked out the airlock and you're their elongated limbs after their skin was pulled off. Oh my god. Oh, you ate our rat and you destroyed our hydroponics. Well, this is gonna be a bad harvest year. Still, that sound you made, it didn't sound like a scream. It sounded like a distant groan. Even as you yelled it into my face. The hand remains. Are we gonna find that rat elsewhere? No, right where we left it. Not eaten, decapitated. And only one butterfly remains, although still in motion. Got that little soft fluttering, so desperate and helpless. Actually, if we were to count the butterflies, maybe that's the original number of crew members. I don't know if I actually... Did I see anything that time around? Should I be opening this door yet? I guess so, because this is not a regular loop look. I think there's only one more. I'm also quite certain there will be at least one other encounter with you before this is over. And it seems like each part of the sequence hunt has taken place in a different specialty room. In this case, the lab. There was one in the lounge, one in the hydroponics. You're fluttering more frantically under the flashing light. Can add one more. These can't be moved. So by the end of this, we'll have to see how all this fits together. Actually, that looks about right for the most part. Actually, maybe not. That may go there. If we can find a full one, that'll tell us a little bit more, I think. This is sort of what I'm thinking, but I'm also very likely to be wrong. Just gotta go out and see what that last one is. That's the thing about a punishing nightmare. It's not a patrolling enemy. It's something we kind of just have to take. We can't leave until we understand what it wants us to understand. And understanding is usually achieved through holding Shift W in these games. My heart stopped while that was opening because sooner or later there's going to be something right on the other side of the door. Is that an eyeball on a pencil? It is. Okay, I was just checking. And that one was not what I expected it to be. Ghostly glow took pictures of every interactable moon symbol. That beeping, is it tracking vitals maybe? It seems more like a control room than a medical ward. But either way, the craft is intact. Do you hear that? Look, reflected shimmers as if we're underwater or something. There's just gore erupting out of each of these suits. Oh, look. This is something we should have done a long time ago. One, 2, 3, 4. So 8 total suits. 1 missing. Odd one out has always been a theme here. That, of course, being us. Also, it seems as though that poster is having a bit worse of a time than before. That is such a creepy image. A spaceman standing nonchalant as he erupts into flames through his visor. Do we have what we need now? Okay. Now I don't actually know or even necessarily believe that this is right, but we've got you. Let's remove all of these. We've got you, a space, and then you, by which time the dark half has switched over. I don't really know what to make of that. Well, I can pick it up and look at it, but I still don't know what any of it means. There's letters on it. I see, so it probably can be used to go to the garden center. So then, if we set the eye, we can turn that with this. If we set the eye where the eye actually is, or more easily the E where the E is. There we go. I didn't even have to figure it out. Okay, ULTIFE. Altif. Is that the password? Or do I still need to arrange them? You know what? You know what? Word games are my jam. No. Take everything down. Take everything down that I can. Futile. There we go! Yeah, so things have gotten bad when your space station is on fire. Oh no. That looked decidedly human. In space is a bad death, but burning to death or dying from smoke inhalation in a vent is considerably worse. Is it actually out there? Also, I just saw that poster said July 69. blazing world walked through fire.
Warning, life form detected. Please proceed to the nearest exit terminal.
Do we just have a nightmare to lead ourselves to the password? We're back at the beginning. It's like none of that even happened. Except we potentially learned the password. One giant leap finished one complete playthrough. So that was We Went Back. And that was more or less what I hoped for, short and sweet. One simple puzzle for us to solve over many loops, which to me gives it a little bit more of an engagement factor than Silent Hill PT. It did have a bit of a weird mix of more overt, like body horror and jump scares, but at the same time it had plenty of more subtle things and definitely a dreadful, hopeless atmosphere that I always love in space horror. And even something as simple as discovering the password, futile. It's such a gut punch at the end of all of this, and it's because of the atmosphere that's been building throughout. And in the end, not that it needed to, but we didn't really learn what any of this was about. It's a game that is kind of smaller than it feels at first because the graphics are really excellent. The atmospherics are amazing. And you know, for a free game, I can't really complain. It's not a low-value horror game, it's a high-value free horror game. What happens if we just type in the password right now? I'm sorry, but I'm restarting. I can't help but think about this. There we go. We don't even need a journey. I got the cheater achievement. Inputted the password without collecting the... There's a couple of additional scares in the game. And we get an achievement for seeing them all. I'm gonna try to see at least one of them. I think the one thing I wish is that there were a little bit more of a story here, or maybe we can infer more. But either way, there's just so much detail crammed into a little area, and that's what I love from experiences like this. Okay, that one didn't happen before. This game contains blood, strong language, and excessive exposure to Soviet ideology. Viewer discretion and loyalty to the party is advised. So our final game for tonight is Party Line, a game in which we play as a KGB agent making sure that the goings-on at a factory are all to party standards. Let's check it out. Gotta wait for our GPU to compile shaders for the motherland. Committee for State Security of the USSR. Classification top secret. 2. Major Krasnov. Incident at storage facility, something 32, outskirts of city name redacted. Sorry, that's kind of small. At 0140 hours, an anomalous event occurred within the premises of the above-mentioned facility. The precise cause and nature of the incident remain undetermined. Preliminary reports indicate possible compromise of state property and personnel. Priority, highest. Orders. Immediately proceed to location, determine the cause and nature of the incident, neutralize and destroy any objects, equipment, or materials presenting potential threat to the state, implement Protocol Zero Witnesses in full, report directly to Directorate P upon completion. Lieutenant General Redacted, Deputy Chairman, KGB of the USSR. Alright, Soviet asset Krasnov is on the case.
This must be the place.
Oh, it's voice acted. And that head bob is so... I don't want to say it's sickening, because it's not that bad, but it's certainly a bit disorienting. Look at that. The depth of field is such that the light of the door seems so far away. This is really dreamlike. Looks like the sun is just barely rising over there. So, how was this called in if you don't even know what the nature of the incident is? All I know is we are tall compared to that door. Wow. Looks like blood on the ground. And a worker's corpse over there. Straight through the eye, wow.
He's dead. Stabbed through the eye with a screwdriver. No signs of struggle. Either trusted the killer or did it himself. Well, one less name on the list for me.
Duty Journal, Sector 943A, March 19th, 1975. On duty, Technician 2nd Class S. Yeryomenko. Routine circuit check on sublevel ventilation node. No significant faults detected. Noted slight change in duct resonance. Pitch is higher than usual. Possibly pressure variance? Logged for observation. Passed 3 workers from sublevel 4. All reported headaches. One mentioned hearing a tone. Told them to report to infirmary. Lights flickered at that moment. Likely a coincidence. Attempted to phone the foreman's office. No response. Line active, but no pickup. We'll try again after next round. Order is the highest expression of loyalty. So saith Lenin. So strange things were happening here even before, so I guess what we should know now is, what does this place actually do? Are we able to open this door? Of course not. We are moving very slowly, but it makes sense. You can never run in a nightmare. This is so crazy. Like, this is doing something I really like. There's such an atmosphere of dread. Not just in terms of coming in here alone, investigating whatever possible supernatural occurrences are occurring here, but also the state. Like, there's the weight of all the secrecy and bureaucracy on top of us. And the way it just so casually discards life. March 17th, 75. Black Volga pulled up near the east loading dock. Not scheduled, no markings. 2 men in suits got out. Not local, not factory security. Didn't speak to anyone. Just walked straight in like they owned the place. Someone opened the restricted gate for them. Didn't catch who. About half an hour later, unlisted delivery arrived. Crate roughly 2 meters by 1.2 meters. Heavy. No stencils, no inventory tag. No handling instructions. Stamped Archive, Do Not Open in red ink. 2 workers moved it to sublevel storage. Didn't recognize either of them. Definitely not from our shift. Tried to ask Foreman Stepanov about it. He said to mind my own. Didn't look me in the eye. 45 minutes later, heard someone say Phase 3 starts tomorrow. Didn't catch who. Probably nothing. Still, logging this just in case. We don't have a light of our own. This game has got style, I've got to give it that, and I've got to say, a huge part of the dread is not just coming in here alone in the middle of the night to this rundown industrial warehouse to investigate possibly supernatural, possibly conspiracy-leaning occurrences. The worst part is the weight of the bureaucracy on top of us. The way we're doing this for someone who clearly does not value our lives or the lives of the people we're investigating, and yet we simultaneously are that body. Okay, can we get through here?
They told us not to look. But it's beautiful, isn't it?
The light?
What are you doing, comrade?
I'm watching it. It's watching back.
The lamp?
Not just a lamp. It's the last warm thing in this place. It remembers how to glow without being told.
We can terminate the witness. We have choices to make.
What happened here?
He told us how to fix it. Then he laughed.
Who is he?
He was always here. Crystal 9 just made him visible.
Crystal 9? What are you talking about?
Signal became scripture. Scripture became mouth.
Where is everyone?
Downstairs, where the breath is heavy, where no shadow dares to stretch.
Why didn't you report this?
Foreman told me to lock the door. But the door was already inside.
Madman or another philosopher? Either way, useless for the society.
We can terminate him, but he's not bothering me. It still remembers how to glow without being told, you said. A worker in the USSR would certainly value that, I can imagine. You talk about something that was always there, something that was simply allowed to be revealed. This may be something that's a cross between magic and science. Duty journal. There's Yeryomenko again. Line to Foreman's office briefly came back. Crackling static, but he picked up. Said only, lock the basement. Now. I asked why. He didn't answer. Just repeated it. Sounded wrong. Out of breath. Like he was speaking through clenched teeth. Found the old basement key in the lockbox. It's rusted. Hadn't been touched in years. Door closed. Locked. Left the key nearby in case of emergency. Still hearing that hum through the vents. It's lower now. More like breathing. I'm probably just tired. At a certain point, quantity becomes quality. Karl Marx. Or Groucho. There's where we entered, I think. Alright, we've got the key. Let's go unearth what they brought in here. I really like the voice acting in that conversation. I mean, it doesn't sound like typical video game voice acting. It sounds almost like people are just talking, and that sounds weird at first, but the more that went on, the more I liked it. There's a certain resignation in it, and yet there's still somewhat poetic language without being over the top. Actually, it's very Soviet. I mean, we've heard similar things from games in the past from this region. Okay, this isn't the basement, but we found another note. Crystal 9, technical addendum. Top secret, neurological response patterns. Test subjects' deviation logs, aggregate summary. Over extended exposure cycles, greater than 180 minutes or 3 hours, select subjects began to exhibit non-standard cognitive behavior, including but not limited to auditory distortions, dissociative episodes, short-term memory looping, delusional ideation centered on redacted, increased emotional detachment, or inappropriate affect. In most cases, these effects subside within 48 to 72 hours, following complete cessation of signal exposure. However, in test group K9B, which consisted of children ages 8 to 13, symptoms manifested within 22 minutes and were irreversible. One subject continued to speak after clinical death. Conclusion: signal pattern K9 is effective for its intended purpose. You called that a successful experiment. And we're going down there? This story is so creepy. The way it's combining the bleakness of this sort of regimented life with science and maybe the supernatural. With conspiracy and the use of humans as a literal resource. And all of it from the perspective of a protagonist who sounds so disinterested. I mean, we have a choice, but I don't know. I guess I should keep going until we see just how that comes across. Did you do that to yourself or each other? Asking if you did it yourself might be a dumb question, but honestly, what can we rule out now? Unfortunately, I can't read that. In the beginning of the game, I had the choice between English and Ukrainian, but I still can't read what's on the walls. No. I think I'm starting to hear that signal. My God. Wait. There's a parallel hallway. I could hear footsteps. There was something walking towards me. The man upstairs, he said, signal turns to scripture, turns to mouth. This has got to be a hallucination, right? Is this artifact something they made, or is it something they found? It makes a big difference. Another parallel hall. Top secret, eyes only. Polypero clearance required. Crystal 9, Scientific Division 7. Subject behavior continues to show accelerated deterioration. See Appendix D. However, beginning with exposure cycle 11, we observed a far more concerning trend. The influence of Crystal 9 appears to extend beyond cognitive disruption, potentially affecting the structure of reality itself. In Observation Chamber number 3, at timestamp 43, instruments registered a spatial distortion in the wall geometry, not corroborated by any visual observers. That guy in the back, he wasn't just pinned to the wall, he was halfway through it. Technician P.A. Sidorov later claimed the lamp was watching him, after which he was found in a state of deep catatonia. The footage shows the lamp remaining perfectly still. We cannot rule out the possibility that Crystal induces localized violations of causality, temporal inversion, object duplication, and the appearance of previously non-existent matter have all been noted. There's a handwritten note in the corner of the document. Destroy all copies except one. Research is to continue. Dissemination of this information is treason. By order of Leonid Brezhnev himself.
Don't forget the price of humanity. Your loyalty.
I need to finish this and leave.
We may have violated the order by letting that guy live, but you're definitely demonstrating party loyalty by continuing to do this. Okay, it seems like there's nothing more this way. We can go deeper still, but I suppose it's not necessary for any of this to have always been here, given what we just read. Some kind of biometric eye scanner? Handwritten note, torn and greasy. To whoever's asking, no, I don't know how to bypass the lock. Some guys from Redacted came last week, all in suits and fake smiles. Installed this biometric access system like we're guarding Lenin's body down here. Only works with something Foreman's hand/color. I'm guessing that's supposed to display as bold in order to let us know that that's important. Not his key, not his face, just the hand. He wasn't exactly thrilled either, but you don't say no when they show up in the black Volga. P.S. If the thing starts humming, don't touch it. So we need the boss's hand, huh? I don't know about humming, but I certainly hear whispering. So in our role as KGB agent, do we carry a gun?
What the fuck are you doing?
Don't you see I'm busy? Fuck off.
Enjoy your last meal.
That is the cold line befitting of a KGB agent. But if you're not attacking me, I'm not attacking you. This can be somebody else's problem besides. Somebody needs to see this.
Is someone there?
I'm stuck. Help me.
I don't know if there's anything I can do for you. You're just directly merged with the pipe. Oh no.
What in the name of Lenin happened to you, comrade?
I panicked. When the alarm started, I thought it was just another drill. Then the signal hit. People were screaming. Some collapsed. Some started laughing.
And you ran.
I wanted to wait it out. I locked myself in the boiler room, figured I'd report when it was safe. Then something overloaded. Bright flash. Pressure spike. I lost consciousness.
And when you woke up,
I couldn't move. My body was part of the pipe now.
you're the foreman. You had to know what was going on here.
I knew enough to keep my mouth shut.
Then speak now.
It wasn't just a warehouse. They said it was a test site. Signal experiments. Or something to scramble thinking to soften the enemy before the first shot.
Psychotronics? Why did they use it here? Who ordered this?
It was a mistake, as far as I understand.
Mistake? And you didn't ask questions.
You think people like me get answers?
Confiscate hand. I mean, it doesn't seem like attempt saving is even a possibility, but all this from a screw-up. All of you become victims and you don't even get to know why. And your families won't get to know why either. Let's attempt saving just because I'm curious.
Is there a way to help you?
I wish, comrade. But the party builds strong pipes.
We have no choice.
I'm sorry, comrade, but I need your hand.
Why does this happen to me? Ah! Ah!
We can leave you alive. We're better off terminating you, I think. Or you're better off. They'll probably bleed out anyway. But I can't.
The party won't forget you, son.
I don't think you're gonna make it, given the blood spurting out of you at that rate. Excerpt from Crystal 9 Technical Briefing. Operational Principle. Crystal 9 projects a composite signal in the 2.3 to 3.1 GHz band, embedded with low-frequency interference patterns derived from proprietary phase modulus algorithms. The carrier interacts not only with neural activity, but with surrounding spatial harmonics, producing localized perceptual instability. This is more than perceptual, unless we can't trust our own perception already. Safety advisory. Maintain a minimum 50-meter clearance from active emitters. Exposure beyond 120 seconds in unshielded environments has resulted in irreversible cognitive collapse and unverified structural shifts in test areas. And this is from last year. So that stuff, it's not just in our head, it is real. It actually distorts the space around us. Gonna have to scooch past you, I'm afraid. I hear that. It almost sounds like it's echoing down the pipes. Okay, we've got what we need.
Access granted.
Pretty advanced for the mid-70s, huh? Oh, come on.
Fucking party issued garbage.
That sounded almost like a child's moan. Trapped within the walls.
So this is where all the party's money went. Not bad.
Not only where their money went, this is what's behind all this horror. All this unspeakable, mind-shattering horror that these innocent people were subjected to. And it looks like anything else in this new world. Like a row of servers and computer screens. This wasn't the plan. On-duty senior researcher Saloma. Phase 3 is a complete disaster. We were supposed to test this on the Americans. Why did we fire the signal at ourselves? What's the point of that shiny capitalist computing machine if it's run by idiots? The higher-ups have already evacuated. A few more hours, and I don't even want to imagine what will happen to these people. Enthusiastic note about the mainframe. Day 1 with the KR-17 mainframe. Astonishing speed. It compiles in seconds what our old unit needed an hour for. The new vector instruction set makes complex signal modulation almost trivial. Even the magnetic tape units feel faster. Only drawback, the coolant consumption is absurd. Feels like we're running a steel mill just to keep it from boiling over. So its weakness is overheating.
This machine seems to be in control.
We can decide later. Oh, screw it, it's been more than 2 minutes. We were taken the second we stepped in here. This is treason, but our brain is fried anyway, so we'll never experience the gulag. Destroy it. USSR, Committee of State Security under the Council of Ministers of the USSR, Directorate of Special Operations, August 14th, 1975. Operating under the guise of a warehouse, the site was in fact a secret laboratory developing a psychotronic weapon codenamed Crystal 9. During a live test, the signal was transmitted onto its own personnel, causing mass casualties and the complete collapse of the project. Senior leadership evacuated prior to the incident. The mission objectives were met in terms of neutralizing the target installation. However, Comrade Krasnov chose to spare all enemy witnesses, a decision inconsistent with operational doctrine. While the destruction of the psychotronic device prevented further threat, this deviation from protocol has raised concerns within the Directorate. Recommend retention under increased supervision. So we're still seen as loyal, but definitely under probation. Approved by Head of the Directorate of Special Operations, KGB of the USSR, Lieutenant General Orlov. Thank you for playing Party Line. Thank you for making... That was really cool and unique. This game had the perfect vibe for telling a Soviet horror story. From the voice acting, especially of the player character, to our role in things, to the way it gave us choices, sort of. The nature of the threat itself, and definitely in the level design, the way everything comes off as so dark and claustrophobic and industrial, and just so grimy too. And I think the element that brings all this together so effectively is that we are playing as a KGB agent. Someone who finds himself in the middle of this horror story, in over his head personally, and yet everyone else's fate is still up to our own decisions. We're still the authority here. They have no choice, and they're already in such a vulnerable position. Meanwhile, even though we are somebody who essentially is the system as far as they're concerned, we're nevertheless a slave to it. Its style is also dripping in that Soviet bleakness, too, from the indifference from our own character, and also in the survivors we encounter. Although it tends to present in different ways, there's always that sense of resignation. This was really, really cool, and plus, it also tickled the part of me that just likes a good conspiracy story, you know? I mean, I like men in suits hauling mysterious cargo, the level of secrecy and people knowing to keep their mouths shut when these guys come around. I just really, really like that stuff. So this was a great one to close off the night. And if you want to see what some of these other choices might have given us, well, try it out for yourself. So, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try any of these games out for yourself, those links will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.